Fred Lynn will join us in a minute to reminisce, but let's first show it to you. Yankee Stadium, April of '76. It's sound full. Enjoy.
In the opposite field with a base hit. Here comes the runner. Here comes the throw. And let's see. He holds on to it. Does he hold on to it? And they have a fight. And they go Pinella and Fisk. And the bench is empty. Pinella and Carlton Fisk. Bill Lee is now going over to a couple of the Yankees, and there they go again.
Hey, that's Dick Stockton on the call. That really is. That's a fight. Now, Fred Lynn, I don't think was involved in it. He was too smart. The classy center fielder for the Red Sox, who was the MVP Rookie of the year before on that great team. And, of course, in '76, the Yankees were very good, won the American League East. Fred, nice to talk. How are you today, pal? Okay?
I'm doing great, Chris. Good to talk to you again.
Always a pleasure. Boy, that fight's nasty. When you look back at that and see it, you don't see those kind of things today. That is a nasty, nasty brawl. What's your first thoughts when you take a peek? Let me hear.
Well, my first thought is that when I was watching the replay, and first of all, there's a base hit to right, and you're going to try to score on Dwight Evans. You better have some wheels. And Lou Pinella was not exactly swift of foot, so he made a bad turnaround third, and his only line to the plate was through Pudge. If he had it shorten his turn at third, he might have had a direct line down the line, maybe avoid that. But I don't think in those days there was any avoiding any collisions. If a collision could be possible, it happened. And you brought up a point that I didn't know about, was that Carlton Fisk and Thurman Munson had a skirmish in '73. That's before I got there. So there was bad blood before I got to the team. And to be honest, Chris, I didn't really feel that intensity in '75 with the Yankees because they were playing at Shea. I don't feel like they were the real Yankees until they got back home again in '76. And, then they started flexing their muscles. But there was a real dislike between the teams. There's no question. And by the time I was playing center, so by the time I got to the skirmish, the first skirmish was pretty much over between Fisk and Pinella at the plate. That was pretty much quelled down. And then Bill Lee said something, and Nettles took offense and threw a right. And then all hell broke loose after that. And I remember pulling guys off the pile, and I got hit from behind. And for years, I didn't know how that happened or who hit me because I was pulling guys off the pile. And come to find out, it may have been Mick the Quick. Now, I think that's how he earned his nickname, because he was kind of going, boop, popping guys and moving on. So
yeah, Mick the Quick, number 17. Faisal Velez, he got his punches in, number 24. You saw him sitting there going crazy. And Lee and Nettles had lots of issues, too. Nettles threw Lee down. He hurt his shoulder. He was out a long time. Did you know that there was any bad blood between those two, Freddie?
I really didn't, because as a teammate of Bill Lee's, I love the guy. Yeah, off the field, in the locker room, he was a little off center. But as a pitcher, I loved playing behind him. He was no nonsense. He was a great competitor, very fierce actually, and he got the ball and threw it. And I love playing behind him. But I suppose if you're on the other team, he might do a couple things that would get your dander up. And I didn't know the animosity between he and Nettles until then. And then when that fight ended, you could see that Billy, his shoulder was hurt. I don't know if he got thrown down on his shoulder, if it was dislocated. That's what it looked like to me. But he was never the same that year after that.
Yastrzemski, Classy Carl, was he involved there or did he stay away?
Well, he was playing first, so, he's on the scene pretty quickly. Most of the guys they're trying to get guys off. There's a fight situation, unless you're directly involved, in meaning that you're throwing the first punch or somebody hits you directly, you're trying to get guys out of the way. And if those guys want to go at it, okay. But you're trying to get all the other guys out of the way. And I'm sure that's what Carl was doing when he got in there, just trying to separate the guys and, try to restore peace and order if that's at all possible.
People don't realize the Red Sox folks, and Fred made a great point there. Yanks played at Shea in '75, so they never really were in a race. Red Sox swept them in July, 4 games. You won a Sunday doubleheader. They had a great year. And then in '76, Martin managing the Yankees, and he does a heck of a job, gets the Yankees off to a good start. And you guys got off to a bad start. So we didn't have both teams like we did in '78. We didn't have both teams right there near first place in either '75, '76. So maybe a little Red Sox frustration out of the gate in '76 at this point there. Fred, how about that for a sec? Let me hear.
I agree with you totally. Yeah, we got off to a poor start, and obviously there were very high expectations, especially with the players. I mean, not only the press and all of Boston, but we thought we should be right there again in '76. And when we started off poorly, we weren't very happy. So I'm sure that when we came into Yankee Stadium, we had a chip on our shoulders, and it wouldn't take much to set it off. And then the play at the plate, that was just a perfect fuse to the powder keg. And boy, you don't see many brawls like that anymore. And that's good. That's, I'm not saying it's good
Red
for the
Sox
game.
won that game.
Yeah, I saw that we won the game.
Like me, but won the game. It's good for guys like me, but it's bad for the sport. Last thing. We know Munson hated Fisk. Did Fisk hate Munson as much?
I thought about that a lot. And you have 2 type A personalities, right? Playing the same position in the same division. And basically New York and Boston are geographically, very close to one another. And I was thinking about this the other day. All it takes, sports writers, how they are. They want to get great quotes from players. So imagine a New York writer telling Thurman Munson, hey, that Fisk guy, he's having a really good year. What do you think about that? Woo-hoo! Just to see what kind of reaction we get. So you get those kinds of questions day in and day out about your adversary who's in the same division. And I can see why there was some dislike between the two. And they were both, like I say, strong type A personalities, leaders on the ball club, catchers basically controlling the game. And neither one of them was going to back down to the other.
Fred, great job. Superb there. Always a pleasure to talk to you. You look good. Keep it up. Thanks for a couple minutes here today. Always a pleasure.